What is going on, y'all? My name is Gravely, and today we are going to be taking a look at both the True Prophecy as well as the Steady Hand in order to determine which one of these two hand cannons is better. Now, there are definitely a few factors that go into how good a hand cannon is, but in this video, I want to kind of expand on that and include absolutely everything in this game. What I mean by that is that I actually want to factor in how easy or difficult it is to get a good or god roll of the weapon. Because at the end of the day, Destiny 2 is a game where we farm for good rolls on our weapons so they perform the best that they possibly can. And if we don't have a pretty good roll of a weapon, it is pretty easy for us to assume that that weapon is absolute trash. But anyways, let's first talk about how you obtain both of these weapons. Right now, the only way to obtain the True Prophecy is by going to the gunsmith and turning in gunsmith materials. I know that sounds easy enough, but then comes the part where you have to get lucky. I believe that the True Prophecy actually has the lowest drop rate of any weapon that you can get from the gunsmith. I have seen multiple people turn in 10,000 plus materials and only get 1 or 2 True Prophecies. So while I don't know the exact drop rate of the True Prophecy, it is safe to say that it is relatively low. As for the Steady Hand, you can obtain it anytime the Iron Banner is around. Yes, you are still going to have to get lucky in order to get that God Roll Steady Hand, but it is going to be much easier because all you have to do is play Iron Banner, earn tokens, complete your bounties, earn even more tokens, and then turn those tokens into Lord Saladin. Let's say you turn in 500 Iron Banner tokens, you're probably going to get at least one Steady Hand. If you turn in, 2,500 gunsmith materials, you probably aren't going to get a True Prophecy, so that's where the big difference comes in. It is much easier to farm a Steady Hand than it is to farm a True Prophecy. Now that we have established that it is much easier to farm for a God Roll Steady Hand, let's talk about the stats of each gun. So when we compare both of the weapon stats, you are going to notice that there really isn't much difference at all. Obviously, there are some differences here and there, but there really isn't anything crazy. The only two things that I see that are actually worth mentioning is the fact that the Steady Hand has a higher aim assist than the True Prophecy, but the True Prophecy does have a slightly better recoil direction. So obviously, there really isn't much difference in terms of the weapon stats. Now, where the difference actually comes in is the weapons perk pools. Now, here are both the Steady Hand and the True Prophecy's perk pools. Now, what you guys should notice in these two images is that not a single perk that rolls on the Steady Hand can roll on the True Prophecy and vice versa. Quickly, I just want to point out some of the perks that you are going to want to be looking for on the Steady Hand and the True Prophecy. In the first perk slot for the Steady Hand, you are 100% going to want to go for Quick Draw. Quick Draw has proven itself to be one of the best perks that you can get on a 120, especially because 120 RPM hand cannons tend to have lower handling than the other archetypes. In the second perk slot for the Steady Hand, I would highly recommend going for either Swashbuckler or Iron Grip. Swashbuckler is basically a poor man's rampage in the sense that it is going to allow you to get 2 taps after reaching 2 stacks of Swashbuckler. And then the reason that I am recommending Iron Grip is it is going to massively improve your stability, and it really is only going to cost you on your reload speed, which isn't really a big deal, especially if you have something like extended mag on your gun. I feel like a lot of people just kind of glance over the stability stat and don't really think that it matters. And to an extent, they are kind of right, but what those people aren't realizing is that stability directly affects consistency with your weapon. The more stable your weapon is, the easier it is to hit shots. Now, when it comes to the True Prophecy, you are going to want to be looking for Rangefinder or Opening Shot in the first perk column. Both of these perks are very good, and it honestly just comes down to which perk you prefer. Personally, I do prefer Rangefinder because it is going to work on every single shot, but like I said, I can easily see why you would want Opening Shot because it is basically aimbot on your first shot. Now, for the second perk slot on the True Prophecy, you are going to want to go for either Rampage, Explosive Payload, or Timed Payload. Obviously, Rampage is always going to be a great option for 120 RPM hand cannons because after getting 1 kill, you are able to 2-tap all the way up to 8 resilience, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And the reason that I am recommending explosive payload and timed payload is simply because of the flinch factor. Shooting somebody with a gun that has explosive payload is going to flinch their screen extremely hard, and that is why it is such a good perk. Timed payload, on the other hand, is pretty much the same thing as explosive payload, but it isn't going to give you as big of a flinch. It is actually going to give you a double flinch effect. So when you shoot somebody, they're going to flinch from the initial impact of your shot, and then the explosion is going to go off shortly after, and it is going to flinch them again. So in my opinion, you really can't go wrong with either Rampage, timed payload, or explosive payload. Now, if I am being completely honest, I do believe that the True Prophecy does have a slightly better perk pool. The only thing that really hurts it is that it does not have quick draw. But anyways, now that we have talked about how you can get each of these weapons as well as their stats and their perks, it is now the moment that everyone has been waiting for. Which of these two hand cannons is the better hand cannon? As much as it pains me to say it because I really do love the True Prophecy, the Steady Hand is the best 120 RPM kinetic hand cannon in this game. And I have a few reasons for saying that the Steady Hand is a better hand cannon. The first reason, anybody can get Steady Hand. I love it when everybody has access to weapons, and Steady Hand, anybody can get it as long as Iron Banner's out. With the True Prophecy, you have to get extremely lucky, and not everybody's going to be lucky enough to get one. Reason number 2, the Steady Hand can actually roll with Quick Draw, and like I said earlier in this video, Quick Draw is a huge perk for 120s. It is almost a necessity with how bad 120s handling is. Now, if you are a Warlock using Ophidian aspects, I do believe that the True Prophecy is better because it basically has Quick Draw because of Ophidian aspects, but other classes do not have access to an exotic like Ophidian aspects, so the Steady Hand is going to be the best option for 2 out of the 3 classes. So I think that also kind of sways my decision in saying that the Steady Hand is the best 120 RPM kinetic hand cannon. Even though that is pretty much going to wrap up this video, I do want to point out that neither of these hand cannons are ever going to be a bad option. If you prefer using True Prophecy, that is 100% fine. If you prefer Steady Hand, that is also 100% fine. But as always, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like and a comment letting me know what you thought. And if you really enjoyed this video and would like to see more content from my channel, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, it's been Gravelly. Peace.
Fight in their stead. It's a one-on-one fight now. This is it. You have everything you need to win. It's a one-on-one fight now. This is it. No one left but you. Who cares? You have everything you need to win. Your team look to you to bring this match home. You made them proud.